enough of that good music. Enough of that good music. How y'all doing today? We
All right.
are back in the new
Doing
year.
good, doing good.
Yeah, 2023. Two DJs and a mic, along with DJ Gemini and DJ AJ.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, fellas?
Can't complain. Everything is, progressing along nicely. So that's all we can kind of hope for, Want a good start, not a bad start.
Always.
Most definitely.
Always. Yes. Well, we're grateful to have both of you guys on here with us tonight to kick in the new year. And I know Brian wanted to share some information on a previous podcast that we had with you on AJ, one of our I would say one of our funner nights. Very
okay.
Y'all were all over the place on that podcast.
Yeah. We talked about everything, and it was very informational, and I enjoyed it. It's always a good thing to be able to just, see how everybody approaches this great thing we love to do called DJing, and the business aspect of it. So with that said, Jeff, do you have anything before we go into?
No, I'm ready to get it on, man. I'm just ready to hear Brian talk about what he wanted to say and bring up his topics and just try to educate. I won't say educate, but try to share some knowledge with us. We'll hit it up at the end, but I want to give him his full time. He asked to come on, talk to AJ, share some knowledge with him. So let's hit it, brother.
I'm here for it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all on you then, Brian.
All right, guys. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I'm honored to be here. I watch y'all all the time when I can. I think I told Jeff when I talked to him on the phone not too soon after I reached out to y'all that I usually watch y'all. I catch you after the fact, right? It's usually like right towards the end, or it's already been filmed and I'm watching the replays while I'm working on music for my upcoming gigs, whether that be weddings or at the clubs I've been at or whatever. And I'll just sit there and I'll listen, I'll crack up, I'll really get into everything y'all are talking about. I'm like, man, I wish I could be on there because there's so much I want to say. And the few times I have caught y'all on live, I've been able to message, get some messages in. But I think the night that I watched what was going on with y'all and AJ, and I mean, he was just perturbed. I mean, that's the best word.
I still am
perturbed.
I still am, bro. I still
is. And I figured he still was, right?
Yeah.
So I sat there and I watched it. And man, I swear it did not matter what anybody said, AJ. You had this. That's not the answer. There's got to be this simple answer. And man, I'm here to tell you that there is. But it's not as simple as you think.
Oh, great.
Okay?
All right, we got to go deep. All right.
It's not as simple as you think. And I think that's kind of the aura around it, is that it seems like it should be so simple. I mean, we live in a day and age where we have all this technology at our fingertips. You've got Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. Well, maybe not for much longer, but we do right now. And you should be able to just snap your fingers, produce a video, and they should all just start falling at your feet, right? Or they should just start all reaching out and contacting you saying, like you said, I want that guy. I want that guy. I don't care what he costs, or if that's his cost, that's great. It's worth it to me because I can see the value in him. And that was pretty much what you laid out, right? That's overall what you're looking for.
Exactly. 100%. Yes.
Okay. So I guess, it could be very simple. I could just lay this out and say, here's the answer. But I think while I was doing my research on all this, because I'm the kind of person that when I look at something, I say, okay, there's got to be an answer to this. It may not be easy, but the reality is it's going to take some time to figure it out. I've got to look at all the details and figure out what is it that the person's missing, or what is it that people aren't seeing, and then like break it down from there. So I guess I would start with saying this. Let's begin with kind of give us your background. You don't have to go into super detail. I'm sure you've done this before, but more so your business, specifically what it represents, and your name, the ideology behind your business, and what you look to accomplish from it. I know that's a lot, but these are all very important questions that I need answered so that I can move forward with.
No, not at all. I got you. My company is called Party Loud Events. I did not come by the name mistakenly or whatever. I wanted, when people heard the name of my company, they knew that it was about to be loud and lit. And, I could have went with, DJ AJ's Wedding Productions or something soft and sweet. That was never my intention. I wanted people to know that we're about being loud and having fun and having a good time. For the longest while, I think the slogan on my old website was, "We get them dancing and keep them dancing," or something like that. That was always my MO from the beginning when it came to the business. I started out DJing back in 2000, I would say, and I started out in radio back in the Virgin Islands, where I'm from. And before I was DJing radio in the Caribbean, I was what you would call a box boy. That's the guy that helps with the sound system. We have massive sound systems in the Caribbean,
Right.
14, 18-inch bottoms, and they still be like, bring more speakers. But
line arrays and all of that.
I'm before line arrays, honestly. I'm,
Okay.
them old elite tops with the double 15s and the horn up top. Like that's I go that far back. And
you would Sir Win Vega.
Exactly. The singles, 21s and the 18 Vegas. Yeah, all that. And when I moved here, I hadn't even really thought about DJing. I was driving trucks, doing oil deliveries, mostly oil product deliveries. And one day they kind of pissed me off, and I was like, well, I need to start, working on an exit strategy. And I saw a little DJ company that was looking for DJs, and I was like, you know how to DJ. You can go DJ these weddings and stuff. And I went and I signed up for the company. I started working with them, and I started to see, like, the company I was working for at the time, they were not a high-end company. Let's be fair about that. And what would I have known about high-end from not high-end when it comes to the industry? I'm brand new, 2013, just getting my beak wet, as it were, in the game. And I just saw that there was a lot of money to be made. And more importantly, what really threw me was, basic mixing, basic beat matching, just basic blending of records together. And people would be coming up like I was a big fat David Blaine on turntables, just doing something they had never seen before. It was amazing, the responses that I would get. And, people just coming up to me like, man, I've been to this many weddings and I've never heard a DJ put music together the way that you put music together. So I was like, maybe I could do this myself. And I just wanted to bring all the hype from my style of half hip hop, half Caribbean style of DJing to playing everything that you play at weddings, pop, top 40 country music. And again, it was just always about having a good time. And that brings us back to the problem that I was having where, like, I don't expect, and I told Jeff and them this, I don't expect every single wedding I do to be, something that should have been a scene from a Midtown club in Houston or whatever y'all's club spots are in DFW area, whatever the
We'll just say a
region.
Nick Spinelli video, so we know what you're
Yeah,
talking
no, exactly.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. That type
okay.
of energy. I don't
Yeah.
expect them all to be that way. Sometimes I'm going to work for that sweet, couple that are on their 4th and 5th marriage apiece, and they just trying to make it work in the old days and it's chill time. And I completely am good with that. I just want to increase my Nick Spinelli-age when it comes to these events. And that's it pretty much, because that's the okay. As a DJ, let me ask you this real quick. As a DJ, what is your favorite part when you're DJing a party, when you're doing an event, specifically party time? We're in party time. What is your favorite thing about party time as a DJ?
It's the NSYNC Rockaway.
Okay,
does that make sense?
No, it doesn't, but
NSYNC
sure you'll
Rockaway
explain.
means when you've got the crowd flowing to every little detail you've got going on, every nuance, every break, every stop. Every time you touch something, they say ooh and ah, and you're not even physically touching them. You make them happy, you make them sad, you make them love, every little detail. To me, it's the drug without doing the drugs, right? Like I'm
right
100%
there,
sober.
right there.
100%
it's
sober
the
when I
drug.
DJ.
It's the drug without doing the drug.
You
It's
sound like Mike in his lab coat being a doctor.
So see, there you go. So in the Caribbean, we call that the forward. I'm pretty sure if you've ever seen a live Jamaican stage show or Caribbean party, a song will play or artist will do something, and then all of a sudden you start to see gun fingers go in the air, torches go off, air horns. That's the forward. That means you did something as a DJ that made these people go from civilized human beings to straight primitive party creatures in no time whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
I chase the forward. I love the forward.
New word,
I think
Mike,
we all
chase
do.
the forward, baby. Chase the forward.
You know where you get the least amount of forwards? Boring parties. So I find myself being this DJ and I'm like, oh, they don't even know what I'm about to do. Let me hit them with a little bit of this. I've only got eyes for you because they're a little bit older. They might turn up to this. And they'll come out and they'll dance to it and they'll love it. And at the end of the night, they had a really great time. And part of my French, Jeff, but I got to say it. I need a certain amount of events within my calendar month where somebody's trying to throw that thing in a circle.
Right.
That's what I need. I'm being purely
Little Ronnie
selfish.
mother.
I'm being purely selfish when I'm saying this. I don't care if it's somebody's auntie, the bride,
like it's a bad thing.
if grandma get out there and she can isolate the cheeks, I don't even care what it is.
Oh my
I
God.
need it
Okay.
to be lit. I'm just saying, come on. I'm trying to get my point across, Jeff. I know we PG-13 and everything on the platform.
I'm gonna write mine down because I have something for you at the end of this. But go ahead.
I'm just saying that's what it is that I'm looking for more so than anything else.
Okay, we're good.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
So I'm writing down my notes. So go ahead, Brian. Tell them.
All right. So, man, where to go with that? So I'm on the same board with you, right? I think we all are. I think we all want lit wedding events and proms and kids' birthday parties and all of that. And I think based on one of the shows where it was either that show, this show in particular that we're discussing at the moment, or one of them where they said, your party is what you make it. So it truly does come down to the fact that when you hire your couples, unless you can nitpick and you can literally sit there and say, oh, I don't want you because you don't seem like you're going to be lit, right? Then you pretty much are stuck with what you have. Now, that being said, is one of the things that you said in the show was that you were looking for a certain price point to be paid and you want lit parties. So my question to you is, what's more important, a lit party or the pay?
Good question.
Damn good question.
And I got a bad answer. I'm gonna say both.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say both.
But
Yeah.
you can't have that.
Sure, I
Here's the
can.
problem.
This is America. Of course, I can
Now-
say both.
Now he's right. Now listen, he's right.
Everybody is not gonna be lit.
And I've already said, Jeff. I've already
Okay,
said.
but you can't have both.
I
then.
don't expect every event to be lit. I'm not trying to get every event to be lit because that's, in my opinion, just quite frankly impossible.
So what?
It's not going to happen.
Somewhat.
What I want is more clients that are more likely to have lit events to book me. That's what I want.
Can I break? Let me break in for one second. So why do you not advertise to the younger 20, 30 something that's getting married and say these are the only weddings I want to do? If you're not having a Kappa Alpha party or a sorority, y'all not stepping through, or whatever.
I'll tell you, I can answer his question for you.
Okay, that's where you're gonna find it, because the people 30, 40, you might hit or miss. You're gonna throw a brick and you might miss. So if you just advertise to, I want 20, 30s. If you graduated from college, you got married your sweetheart, y'all inviting everybody, the football team. That's what I want to do. So just go after that client. But go ahead, Brian. I'm gonna hush.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. And so to answer AJ's question for him, I'm gonna ask a question and answer one at the same time. So AJ, what all do you do for a living?
This.
Exactly. So there's your answer, right? So you can't pick and choose. You have to pick just about every reference that comes your way, or any kind of a wedding event that comes your way. If they're willing to book you, you pretty much have to say, yeah, I don't want to take this. They're not sound like they're going to be jumping off the hook, but it's money. I got to make a living. On to the next one.
Can I say something?
Am I right or wrong?
I mean, and I'm going to just be honest with you about this whole topic, even in the last video. I don't know why you guys seem to think, even when I say I don't have a problem with doing some events that are not lit.
No, we're not saying
because you asked me what was more important, the money or the types of events that I did. And then you went as far as to point out, well, hey, buddy, if this is the only way that you're making your Skrilla, then you're going to have to take some of these parties. And I've already addressed this. I've already said, I know that I'm going to have to do
no offense.
We're not going to beat that dead horse to death. We got you.
So, right. So I'm just saying, with trying to be as respectful as possible, are you saying then that what I need to do is just target all of my marketing towards that crowd so I can get more of that crowd? Because I'm going to get some of the boring, regular, easygoing wedding crowds regardless, because people just find you. I'm on IG. I'm on Google. I had a lady hit me up today that wants Dancing on a Cloud and Sparks and a photo booth. She don't even want DJ. And she found me just off of a Google search because of a video I posted where I dropped a cloud at her wedding venue. So people are going to find you. You're going to get booked here and there on regular events.
All right. So
I just want the hype.
I'm going to play mediator. Go ahead, Mike. Get in what you got to get in.
Yeah, Mike. I'm sorry, Mike, because I know you wanted to say something.
No, you good. Ultimately, this show is about you two guys coming together and bringing some, sharing some information. I'm just thinking about everything that's being said, and I think one of the best things also too, AJ, because I feel you, I don't like doing boring events. They kill me. It's like it takes everything out of me. I hate them with a passion, but due to the fact, the nature of the business, and this is how I eat, I tolerate it.
As do I.
I think, and I agree with you. I think one good thing that would be good and I don't know if you're solely working at your company or you have other guys that you're sourcing out, because I would source out all of the not lit events to them, and I would take everything that
the top
seems
ones.
to be well, and it's not even the top ones, but it just seems that it fits my personality and my staff.
Of course, that's what Joe Bunn does. That's what
Yeah.
Spinelli does. That's what all the multi-op companies do. Especially
So,
when you're the head guy, you pick and choose.
I hear what you guys are saying, but let me ask you a question. Have any of you ever DJ'd a Louisiana wedding before?
I got 7 this year.
Okay, let me ask you something, Jeff. Since
Never done a wedding, but I've done 50th birthday parties when they had the cookout and the boil and brawl and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother. What up?
Of the Louisiana weddings that you've done,
Uh-huh.
let's say you've done 50 Louisiana weddings.
Not that many, but go ahead.
But let's say you did. We're using it for mathematical purposes.
Okay.
Percentages. Let's say you did 50 of them things, right? How many of them were lit? Like, oh my God. Every Zydeco, they was on the floor the whole time. You get into that bounce music, and somebody had to pull Granny off the floor before she re-break her mesh hip. Like, how many of them were stupid lit? How many Louisiana?
You know what? I'm gonna think back, and okay, I'm gonna just give you a small number. So let's say I've done 5. Out of those 5, 4 of them was off the charts. The 4th one started slow. They were outside with a cigar thing. But once they came in, it was lit. You're right. Everywhere. I mean, they came
hold on.
in second lining. Hold on. They came in second lining, and we were playing cocktail hour. They dancing during cocktail hour.
So let me tell you why I asked you that question. If I've DJ'd 6 Louisiana weddings, none of them hit. None of them hit. And I mean none of them hit.
Wow.
Now, let me give you the breakdown of what it is that happened at every single one of these weddings. Talk to the clients. AJ, you already know what it is. Playboy, we're going to do this, that, and the other. We want some second line. We want some Zydeco. I need some Key Frank. I need that the La Jaune. And I'm like, okay. We going to be okay. And then we get to the event, and I'm playing, and I'm mixing, and I'm dropping all of this stuff. Ladies go out on the floor for 2 or 3 seconds, really hype, and 30, 35 seconds into that one song playing, it just dies down. So the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because you guys said farm out the boring events to the other guys. The truth of the matter is, especially here in Houston, you just never know which weddings are going to be.
It's the same in Dallas.
The dull ones. So farming.
It's anywhere, yeah.
But that's my point.
But
telling me to farm them out. I don't know which one is going to be lit from what's not going to be lit.
Right, but somebody can say, like, I've had some people say there's not going to be a lot of dancing, and that's my best way.
And then that's the next thing.
I hear that all
that's
the time.
The flip side. That's why
those are always the lit ones.
Yeah,
right.
And you know, we don't really dance. We just.
I did a wedding, one of the last weddings that I did in, I want to say November. It wasn't even my wedding. I was covering for one of my homeboys who had quadruply overbooked himself. And he was like, can you handle this one? Can you do this one for me? First of all, super country. It took me an hour and a half to get there from Katy. I'm already in the West, outside of Houston. It took me an hour and a half to get there. I get there, it's belt buckles and boots, and myself and my tablecloth were the blackest things in the wedding. And it was ridiculously lit. It was crazy lit. I've been at straight up blackety black Houston weddings and dropped the most hood Houston anthems and barely see a finger raise. And when I dropped Southside at this wedding, when I tell you these country Caucasians were so lit, I was I was blessed to have had that wedding. I was so happy that I had that wedding because I mean the Stetsons, the boots. All we was missing was the Spurs, the jingly jangly Spurs. It was
Garth Brooks.
lit. So that's my point. I don't know which ones are going to be good.
You don't.
You're right. You're right.
And
that one,
increase the influx
so that
of
was
having the possibility of more events like that. I don't care.
So
if it's
the answer
country.
to that answer wasn't the full answer, right? That was just maybe think to do that if you have that option. Try it out, see if it works. But that's not the answer, right?
If I know it's going to be dry, then maybe I can do that. But how many times do we ever actually really know?
You don't.
Unless you do say they have a dinner party and you DJ the dinner party and you know it's lit that night. That's the only way you might know.
That's how you find out when it happens, right?
I mean,
in fact, I have a dinner party coming up next weekend for a company here in Bowling Green, and they literally told me the last 2 dinner parties that they had, nobody danced at, and that's why they want to hire me, because they want people to dance. You know what I told them? People may not dance. Okay.
Yeah, so, I don't even want to go over that.
I don't even want to go deep into that side of things, but we all know, being DJs, that there are many factors that come into play when you do dinner parties and company parties. You know, the head CEO and the president and vice president, unless they're big drinkers, they're not showing out. They're not getting out there and shaking and doing and looking less than professional in front of their peers. And
first of all, I got the ultimate equalizer for a corporate party. The worst 2 words that you want to hear. Well, there's 2 sets. There's 2 of them. Okay. First one is drink tickets. The second you hear the word drink tickets, that means they're trying to limit the alcohol, which is going to limit people getting lit. Number 1.
Yep.
The second worst phrase is cash bar. If you hear cash bar and these people have to pay for everything they're drinking for the night, they already have an attitude because they pissed that they didn't put in all this work for this company and they couldn't even sprung for an open bar for us to get lit on for one night. So you just never know. I just did a corporate party the other day. Again, filling in for somebody else. Come to find out, the owner of this $10 million trucking company is a dude from the Caribbean. So halfway through, while I'm playing Before I Let Go and, whatever else, Neon Moon, he come over and he said, hey, you got some soca in there? And I was like, say less. And it was ignorant from that point on because I didn't even realize how many Caribbean people work for the party. So I start dropping Caribbean. How would I have known that filling in for? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never.
If you're gonna fill in for somebody, always make sure that you get to know your client a little.
Reach out.
Don't just let them hand you an event and say,
I tried.
But
I tried. I was like, hey, let me get the info for the event. If I had have gotten the info for the event, the second the owner's wife picked up the phone, I'd have been like, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but notice. Is there a little Caribbean twang in that voice? Where are you guys from? And the second she said that, I would have been immediately 20% better prepared for that event. So, But anyway, let's talk about drawing them in.
Yeah. So let's go back because we kind of jumped off subject there. But and there's so many different angles that I wanted to talk to you about this. But all I can say is this moving forward. All I ask, AJ, is that you have an open mind to this, that you don't feel like I'm picking on you or that I'm being any less than just honest and open with you about what I have observed, what I think can help you, and what I know will help you, and that you are an actionable person and willing to take action if you have these answers.
Run it up. Let's go. I'm with it.
Okay. So upon looking at all this and knowing that I was going to come into this from this angle, I sent y'all a link. Did y'all check that out?
Your website? Yeah.
My website.
Yes.
checked it out. Mike, Jeff, you
I
all
did
checked
too.
it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, if you could take one thing from that, what would it be?
Very clean, professional, straight to the point.
Okay. Jeff?
No pricing and immediately going into asking questions about getting their information. That's something I saw. You know, like when I went to like try to find out how much some costs or what this or what was involved with that, you had a questionnaire with almost on everything you clicked on. To me, maybe I missed something, but that's what I saw too.
You missed something big time.
I tried to do a little. I went deep.
Can you pull up the website right now?
I sure will, but go ahead.
Pull it up. And AJ, what did you see out of it?
Honestly, I thought your website was way too busy for millennials. I thought that when I saw your website, I looked at your website and I thought, I know why this looks like this, because you're doing your best to give a decent amount of information. Any question they have, if they click on it, there's some sort of tidbit that'll break something down for them. But in my research, when it comes to websites and the amount of time that people spend on your websites and the amount of time that people go through clicking and looking at stuff, I thought that it was a pretty busy website. That's why my website looks the way that it looks now, because my original company website used to be like that, where I almost tried to answer any question they had before they asked it. And I felt that it cost me a lot of bookings or a lot of people just filling out the damn contact form. This is your date. This is your venue. These are the services you're interested in. Let's go. And the reason that I say that, the reason that's my argument, is because how many times have you sent a quote to somebody with a breakdown inside the quote, inside the email, and then they hit you back asking you questions about what was either already on your website or already in the quote? So
Never.
That's how I felt.
Never. Jeff,
Yes, sir.
go to other services.
Which one you want me to click? Either one?
Go to other services, drop down to carrots. Click carrots.
All right.
There's your pricing.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I know what you're saying, but I still don't see no price. Oh, there it is at the bottom. Okay, I see it now. All right.
Okay.
I'm saying you got to go through a lot to get to it. If you're gonna have it on there, it might as well be at the top.
Okay, so what am I catering to though? I'm catering to millennials, as AJ pointed out.
Yeah.
I'm catering to the bride's bride. I'm catering to the woman that has spent her whole life looking for this very moment to happen, and she wants it to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, AJ, yes, I spent a lot of time putting detail into my website to explain things. Now, did I explain too much? I would argue no. And the reason why I would argue that is because I am consistently booking for my 1 carat and above all the time. Now, that's not to toot my own horn. That's not to say I'm better than anybody else. Nothing like that. What it comes down to is that I no longer have to answer the phone and explain my prices ever again. In fact, most people call me and tell me the exact package they want within a matter of a few minutes of us talking now. Whereas before, it literally used to be exactly what you're saying. I had to sit there and I had to frickin' explain why I was better than the other guy and what I offered and why I offered and what I did and how I did it. Now, do I still have to explain some of the stuff, like what I do the day of and how I go about? Because no one's reading all the information, but that's not the point, right? That's not the point. The point is exactly what you said and what Jeff said and what Mike said. All three of them, okay? I made it clean. I made it look professional. But I also added all the information because I know you're not going to read my entire website. In fact, you might hit one page and decide whether you're going to go with me or not. And herein lies the reality of it, okay? Is that every couple that has hired me this year, and I only have, I think, 11 weddings so far this year, okay? But they are all my 1 carat or above. And what's crazy about that is that I offer my half carat. If you look at the half carat, it starts at $900. And it literally says on there for when you want just a DJ, and that's it. So that argument, oh, we just need a DJ, or that, oh, we just, we got all this stuff, we just need a DJ. I decided to be a butt about it and say, okay, you just want a DJ? I'll show up after dinner, after you've done all your announcements and all your toast and all that stuff, and I'm just going to be a DJ, and it's going to run you $900. Or you can go with my 1 carat package, which is $450 more, and I'm going to do the whole 9 yards. I'm going to cover everything. And what does that consist of? And then I go into the details of what each package I provide that with. Okay. As you go through my packages, they exponentially get greater. I either add more sound, or I add uplighting, or I add a monogram, digital monogramming, so on and so forth.
How do I see the pricing?
Yeah, it's click on well, he just told us. Tell him again, Brian.
I went to carats.
Go to other services, go to carats, and just scroll down. And then what are you on?
Just
An
keep scrolling
iPad?
down. Just keep scrolling down, AJ.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you're on a phone, if you're on your phone,
I'm
then
on
it's
phone.
going to be, it's just going to say 1 carat, and then it will say click here. Then you scroll down 2 carat, click here, and then it'll take you to a separate page.
So let me ask you a question on that though. Why don't you, if they're on there, why don't you have them at the top of each package?
Because I want them to have.
Okay,
so,
I get it.
no,
Never mind. You don't have to explain it. You want them to go through and look at it.
I want them to go through it. I don't want it to be a quick answer. I want you to spend a little bit of time, because that's the other side of it, guys, is that everybody. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, what you're doing is you're weeding out people that you don't want to deal with. You're weeding out
Absolutely.
you're weeding out conversations that you shouldn't be having.
Absolutely. And that I constantly hear about, right? So the other side of it is, I was going to show you all this. So I made my website, right? I spent 6 months building that website. This is the accumulation of 6 months. If you look right here, this is literally the framework. And I'm telling you that this is a book of all the information. I mean, literally down to every freaking page. I drew it out. I wrote it. I did all my own content, all that stuff. But
how do you, Brian, how will that help AJ?
So how it helps AJ is this. I went and looked at your website. Okay. Your website, based on what I pick up, is all over the place. I don't know who you cater to. I don't know if you're catering to brides, because you're emphasizing your walk on the clouds more than anything else in your website. It's now, and again, this is the corrected criticism, so don't take this as me being mean to you or anything. This is literally what I see. And if anybody wants to go look at AJ's website, if he allows it, to see what I'm talking about, because I have it memorized. I know every page you have. I know how you have things laid out. And there are great things about your website, AJ. The only problem is it's your brand, okay? It's very unspecific. It doesn't make any sense to me. The name of your company says school dances, and it says fraternity and sorority, and it says we want to get loud and crunk and bounce off the walls and this and that. It doesn't say high-end wedding clientele to me. Okay.
I can see that.
So if you're looking for that, then you have to look at it from a different perspective. You have to brand yourself in that pond. Literally what they said in that show, I believe it was, what was it, Jeff? Didn't you say it was how you present yourself in the pond you fish. That's literally what you said. And he's right. It's how you present yourself in the pond you fish. Again, reference back to my website. There's a lot going on there, but it's literally what Mike said. It's clean. It's something that I spent hours detailing myself to look at and say.
And I can tell that. I can tell that by looking at the website because of the way that it's designed. Like, okay, earlier you said you're weeding out people that you, or Mike was like, I feel like you're weeding out people that you don't want to have, conversations with. Here's our design.
Sort of. It's more about the pricing. It's more about the pricing. I don't want to have the conversation about.
Even better. So with that being said, as I'm looking at the website right here on my phone, I had to jump through 3 different pages to get to your pricing that you're putting up. I agree with Jeff. If pricing is the point of all of this, because pricing is going to get the tire kickers out of the way and bring you the people that you're really trying to book, I believe that on the front of where you display the carrots, it should have the pricing and the breakdown of the service right there. Yeah. And the reason that I'm saying that is because not even the last version of my website, but 2 versions of my website ago, my website was everything you were talking about. It was, this was even before I was offering Dancing on a Cloud. It was heavy on Happy Bride over here, uplighting, making the venue look way more expensive than it did. Great glamour shots of the high-end wedding stuff. The reason my website looks the way that it looks right now is because the main service that I have been pushing as of recent has been my Dancing on the Cloud service. And it was that way because of I literally designed the website that way because of a Google Ads campaign that I was running at the time.
That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. That's something else I wanted to talk to you about.
So I completely agree with you when you say the energy of Party Loud events is hype events. It doesn't necessarily say high-end events. And then the number one thing that I was pushing was the cloud. That, in all honesty, even if you look at the keywords for my website, it's like Dancing on a Cloud, da-da-da-da-da, because I was in the process of actually testing Google
So you're actually
Ads
hurting yourself
with the website. Yes, and I haven't changed it. I agree with you.
You actually have hashtags written on your website, and that is a no bueno when it comes to SEO.
Now you say that. Say that, and I agree with you. You say that, but when I was sitting and I was talking with my Google Analytics guru, the person that was working my site, telling me what I needed to do and what I needed to not do, she literally said, you can't just put a bunch of keywords on your website because Google will shut that down. And
they'll do the same thing to hashtags.
In the whatchamacallit searches once they find that. She was like for example, go look at this guy's website. He's like number 3 in your area for Google searches and landing on his page. On his home page, there were literally 2 boxes with clusters of keywords. And I'm like, so you're literally telling me not to do this, and then your number one example for me to look at is a guy that not only did it, but he did it on every single page of his website. Wow. Where you and I disagree on the design philosophy of the website is, I believe that this is how people look at our websites now.
Yeah.
This is how they look at it. So the more information that I can give them here, and the more things that I can show them here, that's why every service stage on my website, on that one scrolling page, there's a video. Just watch and see the service. I don't have to explain too much to you. Just, hey, we do Dancing on the Cloud. This is how dope that looks. When it comes to the DJing thing, this is how that looks. When it comes to the photo booth thing, this is how that looks. The number one point where I fully agree with you is I definitely need to pull some of those hashtags off of there. It's long overdue for me to fix that wording. And I definitely need to undo the dancing on the cloud experiment with the website, because that's long since gone, and I have a whole other thing that I'm
well, and you also have the pricing for dancing on the cloud on there, but you have no pricing for your actual packages.
Yeah, because I don't do packages. Everything is a la carte. You pay for the DJ service, and then you want uplights, you add that on at whatever the uplight price
Can I ask you a question?
and so on and so forth.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Where's most of your stuff come from? Word of mouth, or is it website, or how are you getting most of your business?
I am a preferred vendor at a few venues, and I have a few what do you call it, wedding coordinators that recommend me sometimes almost exclusively.
Okay. So
Makes total sense.
are you going to make those changes to
Some of them, absolutely. He's absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. Even while he's saying it, in my mind, I'm over here like, damn, I totally forgot to undo that. I didn't even think about the fact that Google Ads test that I did has run its course, and now I need to go back into my website and undo all of that crap and change it back around to where...
Well, I got another one for you.
Go for it.
I got another one for you. So the Google Ads test you should be running is your local home-based Google search, okay? You are ranked number 118 amongst DJs when I look you up on Google in Houston.
And I could see that because, again, I haven't been marketing for DJ services.
Which you should be.
Which I need to be.
If you want to pull the kind of clientele you're talking about, it's the very first thing you need to be doing. So every DJ on the planet needs to have an awareness on Google. If you're trying to make this your professional career, this is what you're doing. This is all you do.
So let me ask you a question.
You must be on Google.
Let me ask you a question then.
Yep.
Then why did paying for the Google Ads not work?
Because you paid. Because that's man. Everything has to be organic. You're going to learn, and I did a lot of research on this for SEO optimization.
So Google Ads are a scam. I shouldn't. We shouldn't spend any money on Google Ads.
I mean,
can I
it
say
comes down
something?
to how much do you pay a coordinator to do something, right? Like what DJ is going to pay her the most or give her the most money out of their packages for her to tell her clients that they're the DJ to go with, right? Because she's getting a kickback for it. It's kind of the same concept. The more you spend with I've never spent one ad on Facebook. I've never spent one ad on Google. Should I? Maybe. But what I do know is that when I reached out to actual SEO companies and said, hey, I want to pay you to do my SEO, they said, why? And I said, well, because I want to build my business. I want to have online awareness. And they said, okay, so what you need to do is you need to build a pristine website. You need to link that website to pages. You need to link that website to other websites, and you need to get a Google presence. And once you've done that and done it for quite some time to where Google actually notices you and starts referring you to where literally I get phone calls from Google now. From people reaching out to me through looking for a DJ in Bowling Green, looking for a DJ in Kentucky, right? And those are my keywords on my website. So I just came up with them. Just
I will say this:
Nashville and stuff like that.
Facebook has changed a lot of stuff. Google has changed a lot of stuff, but they are saying that the most important thing to anybody's website, getting found or anything, is having Google reviews and stuff on Google. Yep. Because
you have zero.
And you got to drive that stuff.
You have zero. That's why you're 118. So AJ. That's why you're 118.
Here's where I got screwed with the reviews. And I honestly
I have an answer for it too.
I stopped asking for them. Because first of all, I was on that narcotic or those narcotics for DJs back in the day, known as Wedding Wire and whatever the hell the other one is.
Horrible.
And I made the mistake, because I didn't know any better back then, to have them do all my reviews into those systems. And then I had a couple of clients that I asked for reviews, and they did them on Facebook with MetaFace, whatever it's called now. They put the reviews on there, and none of my clients have done reviews for me on Google, and I know that kills me.
So that is your number one goal for this year, AJ.
Can I ask you a question?
All your reviews go to Google. Hold on.
It's pertinent to what you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
When you did the searching for Party Lot events and you did the analytics and you did the search for DJ, did you ever do the search for Dancing on a Cloud?
No.
When you just, because
nobody's looking for that.
Of course they are.
I wouldn't say that.
Of course they are.
I'm saying, okay, what I'm saying is and I don't mean nobody's looking for it. What I mean is you have to think short-term specifics. As a bride, what do I need? A DJ. So what's the first thing they say? DJs in my area.
I'm going to say this to you again. My website was not set up to be marketed for people that were looking for DJ services. The way that my website is currently built and sitting, it was because of the Google thing that I did. Now, if you tell me, AJ, man, I did a Google search for your company for DJ and you came up 118th. You notice I'm not over here shedding a tear and boo-hooing? I fully understand and expect that. And with regard to Google searches, I fully get that. Now, if you tell me, AJ, I did a search for Dancing on a Cloud in Houston, and you came up number 50th, I'm going to be like, you are out of your mind. Yeah. You are on that powder, and you need to get into one of them facilities to rehab. Because I know my website is built for that because that's what it is that I was pushing.
Yeah.
So, but I get it.
He knows who he's going after, but we understand. So, I mean, I think you guys need to, if AJ wants to, or if you want to, have maybe a talk offline and say, hey, I can help you point you or do this if you want me to, give you some pointers, both ways to try to do it like that. But I think both of you guys have said some great stuff, man, especially Brian. He's really done the research. I hope he didn't go look at mine. But because he got a pitchfork in you, brother. But AJ admits that and you need to stop slacking if you want. But see, that's what I don't understand about it, AJ. You're saying you're looking for some, but you're not even fishing for what you're looking for.
Because I don't believe in fishing on Google like you guys do.
You have to.
No, Google.
No, I don't.
Listen to me. Go ahead.
Not to the listen. I understand that when it comes to all things searches, Google is 100% king of the planet. Whenever I'm looking for stuff, that's the first place that I go to look for stuff. But again, it's not just about getting leads. I've been saying this the whole time. It's like I'm speaking French. I want a certain type of clientele. And I don't believe that Google is necessarily the answer. Okay. I believe, and hear me out, I believe that a combination of IG stuff and now even more so until, like you said, if it's still around in 6 months from now, TikTok stuff is going to help tremendously. And the reason that I can say that is because it has. Yes,
and guess where it all leads to, though? Your website.
Exactly. And by the time they get to my website, it doesn't matter. They are already going to the he does this too. He does this too. And they go down to my box and to my contact form, and they check off the stuff that they initially saw that they liked. And then they're like, oh, I like this Dancing on the Cloud thing. And they check that off too. So again, I just had a slightly different approach. Yes, I'm guiding them back to my website, but I'm not using my website as the end-all, be-all of getting clientele. I have the ability I believe anyway, I have the ability to rein in the type of clients that I want with this table. One of these controllers, this probably ain't gonna be the one, Jeff. You know how I get down. I change them like draws. But that camera, these lights, those lights, this backdrop, I believe between that and different clips of stuff that I do, that's going to speak to speak
And
to.
that was something else I was going to say.
Remember,
You need little clips.
I've got venues and coordinators recommending my business on a regular basis.
All right.
I do.
Let us get Mike in before we get too deep. Come on, Mike. Come on in.
Come on, Mike.
I just want to just touch on some things. One, we have to all realize that there are multiple ways of fishing. And I agree with what you're saying, AJ, in regards to the other platforms. Each one of these platforms have their own, it's like their own planet. And Google may be the big planet that houses all of these other planets. And each one of these planets, you have to learn how to fish on those planets, as well as fish on the big planet. And I think the same way that you look at working with these other platforms, you have to factor the big planet in as well, because you're leaving money on the table by not doing that.
And can I just say this, Gemini? It really does look like you put a lot of work into this. And all jokes aside, I would love to hear the rest of what it is that you have to see how I can apply it to the refacing of the website.
And
if you had told us or said in, when we were talking beforehand that a lot of what you're saying is based on Google and the way my website is set up to Google, bro, I would have told you back then, oh yeah, no, I know. I totally know.
And I'm not saying it's all based on that. I'm just saying that it revolves
it's
around
a huge portion. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It all flows in the same pond.
Mike said there's different ways to fish. And you see one way, Brian. Mike sees one way. AJ got a way. Whoever else, Kim has a way. Whoever's been on, James has a way. We all have ways of fishing. But in reality, like Mike said, you got to learn how to fish on Mars, Pluto, and Earth, and then you got to learn how to fish on the sun. So,
and then you know what's crazy? Can I throw something at you, Gemini, that I've been thinking, and this is for all the crosstalkers, who decided to rock with us tonight. For real. Ever since doing all of this and having all these thoughts, since then, an experience that I had recently with a hotel has me rethinking the whole way. It's like you guys said, where do I get the majority of my events from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, these venues and these coordinators. I'm one person, and I didn't build my company to become like a SCE type of company. I don't like working for people. I like DJing. I made a business that's a job for myself. So at the end of the day, once I'm, making a decent amount of change, I'm like not interested in working my eyeballs out and have to hire a bunch of DJs. I would actually like to, be in the Maldives enjoying what them turntables did for me. So at the end of the day, the new concept that I have is, who has all the events? Venues. When the high-end brides are doing weddings, they're not doing weddings without wedding coordinators. So it's literally in the order of who has all the events. It's the dopest wedding coordinators and it's the dopest venues. The more venues that you can become a preferred vendor at, the fuller your calendar can be. And then AJ can be, free to get on TikTok and try to draw in a couple of more of those, because as y'all say, this is what I do for a living, and then I'll have the money. So there's several different ways of doing it. I just want you guys to understand. I know that I'm a bit much, but I'm not completely disagreeable. I totally see where you're coming from, because like I said, the second you started speaking, I was like, damn, caught me with my pants down by my ankles, because I totally, everything you're saying is true. The website is scattered. It's not catering to DJ specifically because it's totally catering to Dancing on the Cloud. And can I just say that mess works because the amount of Dancing on the Cloud jobs that I got, like especially after COVID when I wasn't being booked for DJ stuff, but I had all this Dancing on the Cloud equipment and Sparks equipment and stuff sitting in my garage. I was like, I'm not going to get booked for some of these weddings because they already have their DJ. But I'm also cool with charging somebody $900 to do Dancing on the Cloud and Sparks just for their first dance. And then I can go take my lady and get something to eat after that. And we got time to go out and party. I can go DJ at a club or something afterwards. So I totally twisted my website for that. And you're right. I need to change it back up. You're absolutely right.
No, if it's working for you, leave it like it is, AJ. We understand. He just
start another website for that. For something else.
I thought about that.
We were just trying to understand. Mm-hmm. You're not fishing you're not fishing. You're fishing in a little bowl instead of fishing in the ocean. For you say you want a certain thing, like I say, you're not catering to that. You're just, but we understand that. We all understand each other better now. So before we go any further, anybody got anything else? Any of you guys got anything y'all want to bring up tonight, or anything else, or anybody listening got? Because we don't like to hold everybody time. We like to try to get in and get out and get our hour in. And
I just want DJ Mike to know that I'm about to be coming for his neck. I see him with all these with his remix videos, and he get up there. You know he got him one. You know he got him one. Once he let that other and let that other deck go, and he started to do that with the head, I'll be like, okay, buddy Mike, I see you with the spams, baby. I'm coming for you. I just need to handle a couple of things that I'm doing with these ancient things.
I need to say this too.
Buddy Mike.
You wouldn't believe the number of people hitting me sidebar texting me. Who is this AJ guy?
I'm just a guy. Just a guy from Houston. Well,
he's a great guy from Houston. If you ever down that way, look him up and hook up with him because he is hilarious. But
I'd love to meet up with all y'all. I think it'd be fun.
Everybody in this group, I maybe have never met y'all, some of y'all personal face to face, but we've had deep, long conversations, and you guys pour into me as much as I hope I pour into y'all. And it's just, it's like a big brotherhood, man. So I love it. I mean, this was great because I think AJ could have got mad, kind of took it the wrong way. No. And he took it. He took it beautifully. Even coming back you took it. So it was good, man. Me and Mike just sat back and hope nobody really got hit.
I hope so, man. Because AJ, I want nothing but love for you, man. I want you to have what you're looking for.
Same.
And it's easier sometimes for the people on the outside looking in to see than it is when you're on the inside looking out.
Absolutely.
And I say that because of the way I built my website, right? Like I literally had to sit there and think, how are people looking at this? How are people understanding this? What is it that they're finding, so on and so forth? And it took me 6 months, 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day. You can ask my woman. She looked at me like I was crazy every day. How far have you gotten on that? I'm on half the first page.
That's why my website changed. One day I had my girl, I'm Android, she's Apple, a house divided, whatever. And
same here.
I had her look at my website on her phone. And fam, you want to talk about hurt feelings? Oh my God.
Yep.
She just, I don't know.
They're squashed and looking all kinds of crazy. It didn't
I'm telling you, it was because I didn't clean up something, because I didn't change the oil in the car. I got all kind of anger, I believe, in the retribution for what it was my website looked like. But she had a point. She was the one that was like, if I come to this website and I'm looking for a DJ for a wedding and all this, I got to read. I want to get to the point. Let me get to the part where if I like you getting to the point, that I actually say, let me try to get a quote from this guy. And that was the philosophy behind the way I redid my website, because of talking with my girl, because she was like, no, it's too busy. I got to go to too many places to see too many things. It's just put it here. Let me see it. Let me make a decision and let me move on, because you're not the only person I'm looking at.
And I want to say this real quick. And you can. My wife and every conference I've been to, they say if you ever want to know what's going on to website, post anything, just
Ask your lady.
Ask a woman. If you're trying to design something, let them see it. Because I remember Pat put something out one time. Hey, ask all of us in the group how we all liked it. Man, all of us liked a certain one. One lady said something. Guess who he went with? The one the lady said. So, I mean, but go ahead, Mike. I just wanted to throw that in. If you ever want some real feedback, holler at your girls.
Yep.
And I agree with that. I'm just grateful for this, this conversation, and the fact that we can have a conversation and not be all over the place and attacking each other. And I appreciate you, Brian, for what you've done with your website, because I'm gonna say this here. The one thing that we have to look at when it comes to even this group that we're in, or in the world, period, most people are not going to do what you've done because they don't even know where to start. And that's nothing to do with nobody here. And for me, I understand that because, Jeff would tell you, that's one of the things that's another part of my business. That's what I do. So I understand when it comes to the websites and so forth. And the one thing that I think that a lot of us miss when it comes to this, even for DJing for people, we miss the psychology. We don't understand people. And so when it comes to presenting something to people, a lot of times it's presented from a selfish standpoint of what we think. We never consider our audience. It's just like, a lot of guys that DJ, and on one of my shows, I put DJs in two categories, me or we. And a lot of guys play for me and not for we. And they wonder why people are not responding. Now, if your me is in a line with your we, then that's great. But if your me is not in a line with your we, then you need to rethink that idea. And when it comes to us doing what we do, whether it be from marketing or building our websites, we have to realize the psychology of what we're doing and the people that we're doing it for. So we can be successful, so we can fish in all of those ponds and lakes and creeks. Because if we don't do those things, we're going to find ourselves, like most people, in a box.
Yep.
And that's how big reality is going to be.
One other thing I was going to say too to AJ is I've got the answer for you to get your reviews. Okay. No shame in this game. If you need reviews for your Google, all you have to do is offer them. Okay. So when you do a wedding this year, whatever your highest package is, take $100 off of it. Tell them that if they write you a review after the wedding and you get it, you'll give them $100. So essentially what you're doing is you're just taking $100 off your package, but you're getting your review because you're helping them. They're helping you. You lost $100, whatever. I've done it. I've also reached out to past brides that really, really loved what I did for them and said, hey, you wrote me a really nice review on Wedding Wire because, hey, to say what you were saying earlier, we've all done it, man. I paid almost $3,000 on Wedding Wire when I first started out and got one wedding out of the whole thing at the very end that almost covered my cost, right? So I haven't done it since. And they reach out to me every year and sweet talk and all that. And I say, nope, not doing it. I'm going a different route. I'm still on Wedding Wire.
They said, well, you gotta advertise somewhere. I'm like, yeah, but not with you. What are you talking about? Who told you that?
So yeah, the majority.
I tell them I'm gonna keep the free account. The free account is good. I'm good.
I'm gonna do what you said though. I
got an even better one.
Okay.
Something we did. Have a contest. Tell them to fill it out everywhere. You get 4 chances to put your name in: Google, Facebook, Wedding Wire, or not. You get 4 chances. We're gonna put your name in the hat 4 times. We're gonna give away $100 cash, or we're gonna do this. Have all your brides, and then do a live stream of you doing it. We did that.
Yep.
Review went through holy hell. Or give away a room at the Omni.
Let me get my charger before we get shut down. My battery.
I'm just saying different ways. I mean,
I actually like that idea. I'm gonna compound on it.
Yeah,
I got some homies in the hotel
make it
industry.
your own, but I'm just saying it.
Yeah, I got some homies in the hotel industry. I'll give away a staycation.
Yeah,
and I'll do it to all of my ex clients.
And that way you can get your Google reviews up.
Yeah, get them up real quick.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea.
If you can just get 1 or 2 started, man, it'll start moving you up the rank on when people search.
That's why I love Crosstalk, because we can all share, we can split, spirit. People will try to keep stuff like it's a national secret. Why I don't do that. No, man, let's all talk about it, work together, figure out ways to make each other better.
We gotta work together. We can only do 1 gig a day.
I was talking.
First of all, I ain't worried about none of y'all. Y'all ain't even in my neighborhood. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll give you all the secrets. That's y'all problem up there. Give me your secrets. Come on, give them to me. Let me use them down here in Houston.
I'm done, AJ. I ain't telling you nothing else. That's the last time.
Hey, Mike. Rain 1 coming up soon. What you gonna do? How you gonna act? I got the Rain 1 coming.
That's a 1,000.
Hey.
Oh, no, this is what you call it? This is a first generation SZ.
Okay.
In front of me now. I can't wait to get rid of this.
Gentlemen, I just want to say it has been a pleasure. AJ, you are monthly booked from this point forward. You put this on your date night, first Sunday of the month. You are on the show. Somebody said you gotta have that guy back on, but no, man. Brian, you dropped some serious knowledge, man. We might get you back on when we don't have crazy on here and let you drop some knowledge. Man. But no, AJ, you're a treat, man. And Brian, you came with the serious, straight, hard facts, brother. Don't go look at my website. I don't want to hear from you. No, I'm just kidding. But no, man, I appreciate
coming at you, Mike.
You know what? Really, more people need to have. I had somebody else to do it to me that went and looked and told me, "Hey, Jeff, you need to get rid of all those trashy pictures and all this stuff, because if you're trying to attract a certain bride, what you got on there is running them away." So,
yep,
I mean, it's good to have.
I had to do the same thing. Yeah. That's why I switched over to video. I started, and at worst, all my video was horizontal too. It was landscape mode too, and they was like, You ever had a good experience watching a landscape mode video on social media? And I was like, damn. So I had to then go and start refilming everything in portrait mode. So
which one? I thought Facebook was better with landscape, and Instagram was the more that's landscape.
No, all of them are portrait mode. All Meta properties are matter of fact, all of them, they're all designed so that when you click on it, your whole screen is taken over by the video, and then you just go video to video to video to video.
Hey, I don't care what anybody said, we got somebody AJ tonight.
Yep.
I feel like you get something out of me every time I'm on here, but
hey, I just gotta mess with you, man. But fellas, thank you.
Guys, I had a blast being on here, and I appreciate y'all having me on. I really do. I'm glad I could at least give what I know, what I've learned through the time that I've been doing this. And I never even thought this had anything to do with it when it comes to DJing, right? Like, I've been DJing nightclubs and strip clubs and all kinds of stuff for many years.
Yeah, that was my answer for later.
Yep,
that's where AJ club. Need a job at, in a strip club. Yep. If you want to see some tail feathers shaking, that's where you need to go work.
I am not trying to have all that glitter on my face.
You can play Little Ronnie Mother F all night long at that place.
Circle, throw it, baby. But
then I got to deal with all that glitter. I don't want to deal with that glitter. Glitter your eyeball, all of your clothes. You smelling like whatever the thing is they use to wipe off the pole.
I dealt with it for 20 years, bro. That's actually how I ended up in Dallas.
See, so you know what's up. Coming to the sage, cinnamon. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need it. I'm good.
Coming to the
scene. Hey, Mike, hit the theme music, man.
Coming at you, Money Mike. coming at you on these turntables.